To be not, your VM will not be able to talk to another VM. Let's say you have your Kali Linux and you want it to talk to Windows VM. That will not be possible. But your VM will be able to see the internet, so you can access the internet at the standard network from the VM using the NAT configuration mode. But an internet-facing device will not be able to access your VM except you do port forwarding. And then the second option is the bridged option. In the bridged option, everything is yes. So your VM can talk to your host can talk to your VM can talk to another VM, your VM can see the internet, and the internet can see the VM. So if you want all of these options to be possible, then the bridged adapter mode is the best option for you. And then the third option is the internal network option. In the internal network option, your VM cannot talk to your host cannot also talk to it, but your VM can talk to another VM, and your VM can see the internet. But the internet cannot see your virtual machine. So when it comes to internal network mode, yes, VM to VM is possible, VM to internet is possible. The rest are not possible. Then the fourth option is the host only adapter option. In this configuration mode, VM talks to host talks to VM can talk to another VM. But when it comes to interaction with the internet, it's not possible. So the VM cannot access the internet, and the internet cannot also access your VM. And then we have the next option is the generic driver option. So in this option, everything is possible if you have your custom driver set up. So when it comes to VM talking to anything and the internet, then you need a special driver that can drive the network adapter, the network interface card. Then we have the NAT network option. In the NAT network option, your VM can talk to your host cannot talk to VM except you do port forwarding. And then the VM can talk to VM, the VM can see the internet, and the internet can see the VM. Now, the major difference between the NAT mode and the NAT network mode is the aspect of VM talking to them, the VMs talking to themselves. So you would have noticed that for the NAT option, that's the first option, a VM cannot talk to a VM, but when it comes to NAT network option, that is possible. The rest of the options are basically the same. Then we have the cloud network. The cloud network the configuration allows your VM to interact with the Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, the OCI. So, besides that, your VM can talk to your host. For your host to see your VM, you need to do port forwarding. Your VM cannot see another VM. And then for your VM to go outside, like I talked about the OCI, the Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, you will need to assign a public IP to the virtual machine for it to be able to interact with the internet, or for an internet-facing device to be able to connect to your VM. And then the last option is not attached. It's not really an option, so to say. But when your network interface card and your VirtualBox shows not attached, it means indeed your VMs are not attached to any network adapter, and it will not be able to do anything. You can't see the host cannot see it, cannot talk to another VM. Basically, just like you don't have your network interface card installed. That's just a elementary understanding of that, of this last option, which is not attached. So these are the possible configurations or modes that you can set your VirtualBox to have for your virtual machines to work. So, like I said earlier, take note of what is possible, what you want to do. So, if your VM is not expected to see the internet, then we'll possibly look for the host-only configuration Yes, that's if there is no interaction whatsoever with the internet. So, but if you wanted to access the internet, you don't want internet to come to it, then the internal network option is the best way to go. If you want the interaction to be all round, VM to your host, host to VM, internet to VM, VM to your host, then the bridged network mode is the way to go. So I'm going to illustrate to you how some of them work, maybe one or two of them to see how they work. They're basically very simple. It's just a matter of you changing your network settings to the options that you want, depending on the project you want to do or what you have to do at that moment. So that's fine. So let's see how that works. So I have two virtual machines here. I have Windows 7 VM on my left, and then I have Kali Linux on my right. So these are the two virtual machines that I have. So let me start with the Windows 7 virtual machine. So for me to change, I can do the network settings from the VirtualBox. It is also possible for me to do it from within the virtual machines. And from within the virtual machines, there are two options, or two ways to go about that. But okay, let me start from the VirtualBox option. So let me just bring up my VirtualBox. So this is my VirtualBox. You can see the two machines running. So if I want to set the network for the Windows 7, just select it and then go to settings. From settings, I can go to network. From network, you can see here attached to, so you can see the mode here. Now let me go to the expert mode to see more options. So you can see them here: NAT, bridged, internal, host only, generic, NAT, network, cloud, and not attached. So I can select any one. Let me select NAT here, and then okay, that's it. So there's something applies to Kali. You can just select Kali, and then go to settings, and then for settings go to network. The network, you can see the options here as well. So let me take this as pushed, and then create. So those are, that's actually how to set it up from VirtualBox. But when it comes to from the VM, there are two options, like I said earlier. Let me bring them up. Okay, so from my Kali, I'll just go to either I can go to devices. From device to network, then you point to network settings, and then it will take you to this environment. So straight to the network tab. So I can now change it to whatever I want, and then okay. The second option is let me do the second option for let me see. Okay, the second option is where you go to the icons at the bottom of your VM. So here you can see this computer sign. So just right click here, and then you see network settings, and then it will take you straight into the tab. That's it now. So those are the two possible ways to do from VM, and then I've shown you the option to do from VirtualBox environment. So let me now begin to let me check. Okay, it's trying to pick IP. You can see from the Windows VM, it's trying to pick IP from here. Okay, let me say work. Doesn't really matter. Okay. So once this is ready, I can go ahead and trying to identify the network. Okay. Okay, so I can go ahead and check the IP address. Let me check for Kali what it has taken. Basically, it's if config -all. So basically, I think let me confirm again what option I gave to this. For this bridged adapter. Now, for the bridged adapter, I forgot to mention that when your network interface card is set to bridged, it's going to inherit an IP address from the class, the same class with your host. So whatever your host is, that will be the class, the same class that the IP address is going to be. So now here on my VM, I have base 10.391.27. It means my host is in this class. So only the last object, that is, sorry, the last digit, that's the host ID, the host number that might be different. So that is what happens to you when you do bridged adapter. So let me change this to maybe NAT and see what happens. Okay, so let me check the IP again. It doesn't take effect yet. So this it will have to change. Okay, it has changed to me. So it has changed for me. So you can see it changed 0. The IP address is 10.0.2.15. Now this is actually the default IP for NAT. Now, like I said, you have to take note of the differences in the configuration. So I can decide to ping internet. Let me ping Google and see. So you can see that my NAT is able to access the internet. So I'm able to see Google from my virtual machine. And then let me change it to host only, and then try the same thing. Let me stop this Control Z, and then let me change this option to this time around. Okay, let me change to bridge again, and then try to ping Google. Let me stop this and confirm the IP. Yes, that's the new IP. The first one was 27 and the new one is 33. So let me pick again. I'm supposed to have a reply. The second time. Okay, let me disconnect from here and then connect. Kind of looking like I'm rebooting the card, the network interface card. So let's go again. Temporary failure resolution. Okay, let me try to split my screen vertically, and then let me ping yahoo.com. Something. Delays. Okay, let's see again. Something. Okay, now let me change the network IP to, sorry, the network configuration to this time around. What other configuration do we have there? Host only. Okay, let's check host only. And then let's check the IP address. Now, so let's try to ping Google again and see if we can have any luck. We shouldn't have any luck, really. So it's host only. But the one that failed, we'll have to try it again. It should be able to respond. So you can go ahead and then check the different options and see what happens to you and stuff like that. So I'll see the options available. Like I've explained, you can choose them and see how they work. So if I choose host only adapter for my Kali, and then for Windows, let me also do something. let me ping Kale from here. So let me confirm the IP address of Kale again. Okay, now it has see the IP now. 192.168.56.01. So let me check the IP address of Windows VM. CMD. So do IP config. So we can see that this is .100 and the Kale is .101. So I can see that they belong to class C this time around and they're in the same class. So let me say I want to ping 192.168.56.101. That's the IP address of Kale. So let's go. Yeah, they should see them. It should see. So I can repeat the same thing for this guy. Let me say ping 192.168.56.100. Yeah, you should see. But if I want to try to ping the internet, let's say I'm trying to go outside, I want to ping Google again. Yeah, I shouldn't have any luck. The same should apply to my Windows VM. So you can see how this works. These configurations work, these modes work. So you have the choice to decide which one to use depending on what you want to do. Now, take note of the fact that there are some settings, like I explained, that can prevent an external device, meaning an internet-facing device, to access your VM. And there are also some that prevent you from accessing the internet. So you have to study that. So thank you for joining. Take care. Bye bye.